What's up, guys? So I've obviously been in a death metal mood again recently, so I figured I wanted to talk about my favorite albums from that style to come out in the 2020s so far. I only have 2 from this year because I don't want to really spoil my year-end list, so most of this list is 2020, 21, 22, and 23 stuff, so yeah, let's get into it. But first, what we're listening to: Apology for Pathology from Hemorrhage. One of my favorite records by them, Morgue Sweet Home, is probably my favorite, but this is number 2 though, so yeah. Awesome deathy gore grind from 2006. Good stuff. This came out through Relapse, who reissued like 4 of their albums last year. I don't know who did this original, but yes, the Relapse reissue from last year. Great shit. Alright, enough of that, let's get into this. So, I have stacks separated by years. Obviously, there's a bunch more I could have pulled from each year, but I don't want this video to be an hour and a half long, so oh well. First up, no one ever mentioned this band. I'm not really sure why, mainly because it's the only full length, but considering the amount of albums that come out every year, I kind of get it. So this is Cuga with Forlorn and Forsaken, put out through Headsplit Records. So these guys are from the US. I don't remember which state exactly, but I think it's somewhere in the middle. So to me, it is almost like early 90s Fin Death Worship mixed with like the first 2 Mortal Skull records. I mean, if you can see the name of the last song, When the Moment of Death Arrives, that's the opening track from Shadows of the Past from Sentence, so that definitely gives you a good idea what the influences are. And you can see the singer has on the Rocket Voice show too, so that's awesome. Not a bad comparison, but yeah. If you like stuff like the first Sentence and early Mortal Skull, this is awesome, so there you go. Good shit. Alright, so let's go to Finland for this one. I almost didn't include this because this is more Death Doom, but I had to do it. So this is Solosis with the Realm of Ash and Blood, put out through on $20 spin. Unfortunately, these guys broke up a year or 2 ago, so that sucks. So they were definitely my favorite newer Death Doom band. They're final of their 3 full lengths, and I think probably my favorite. But yeah, so if you like, if Temple of Void was written by Ripikolu, I feel like it would be like this, so kind of like that style, but it's like faster than Ripikolu because it has some like little bit of fast parts, but not as like just super slow and doji. But yeah, good stuff anyway. Solosis, Realm of Ash and Blood. I'm sure you all know this one. This is Goophilia Within the Eye of Nothing. Severed Monolith is my favorite of the 3 full lengths, but obviously that came out in 2017, so I cannot mention that one. Okay, so yeah, put out through Dr. Sign Records. Hopefully these guys aren't like done making music because they haven't done one since this, and this came out in 2020, so definitely due for a new one, guys. So not sure what the deal is. I still see that they're playing shows, so hopefully they're not, it's like only a live act now, but oh well. So compare this to something, this is definitely like super Morbid Angel-y. I mean, their previous record was almost like if Gateway's era wrote Covenant. This is almost like if Gateway's era wrote Domination, I guess. So it's a lot like have more slower moments. It's still fast too, but definitely in the more like kind of doji, slower Morbid Angel vein, opposed to the like faster stuff. But yeah, good stuff. But like I said, Seven Monolith is still my favorite though, but this record rules too. So yeah, hopefully they repress the first one, because that album is super expensive just to get on CD. It's like ridiculous. But yeah, not sure why that one's in print, but not in print, but oh well. Yep, there you go. Goophilia in the Eye of Nothing. So this is Ulcerate with Stare to Death and Be Still. Now is this as good as like as a Fraction Failure, Destroyers of All? No, but it's definitely, of their like last 2 or 3 records, my favorite. I like this better than the new one. The new one is good, but I still think I prefer this one to the album from this year. But yeah, definitely if you know your avant-garde death metal, they are one of the bigger bands in that scene. So this came out through Deborah Morty, another awesome label. But yep, Great stuff. I don't know if they've been on Double Multi the whole time. I think the last like 2 or 3 they were on the label, but yeah. It's good stuff if you like mid-2000s Gorguts. This is a good comparison, but yep, good stuff. So, also Stay to Deathly Be Still. Alright, this one's just an EP, but I wanted to show it anyway, because why not? This record is awesome. So this is Engulfed with the Vengeance of the Fallen. I still have yet to get their new record. I know, I'll get on that eventually, but this is, I still think, my favorite material by this band. Put out through Masaku and Ojo, and I think Dark Descent did the American version, but this is the one from Europe that I bought from the US. I'm not sure why it's not the Dark Descent version, but oh well. So this is almost like Hypodontia mixed with Dead Congregation, I guess. So definitely like super dark, and it's not cavernous, but I just call it like dark and kind of evilly awesome riff focused death metal. So again, great stuff. Their new album's been getting a lot of praise, but I still need to buy it though. I'll do that eventually, but for now this is still my favorite release by these guys. But yep, check it out. Engulfed, Vengeance of the Fallen. Because it's me, you know these guys would be on this list. Skeletal Remains, Entombment of Chaos, Devouring Mortality is still my favorite, but like I said, 2018, so obviously can't include that one. Their new record was really good, but a slight disappointment. I only say that because of their last 3 records that they've done so far. It is my least favorite, but oh well. Yep, good records, so it's like, again, like Gateways, Morbid Angel mixed with like Testimony, Pestilence a little bit. With they kind of ditched the Van Junior vocals on here because the first like 3 albums they were definitely emulating Martin a lot, but they got their own sound on this record, at least vocal wise. But yeah, there you go, good shit. Alright, it's gonna be another super obvious one I'm sure you saw coming from me. Necrophobic, Dawn of the Damned. This was my album of the year for 2020, and I still stand by that decision. Definitely, I'm gonna say of the albums from 2020, easily the one I played the most. I mean, listening to the last song, Devil's Spawn Attack, is easily one of their best songs in the modern era. The title track rules, Mirror Black, the Infernal Depths of Eternity, As Fire Burns. This whole record smokes. Put out through Century Media, who they've been signed to for a good long while. They were the boys. And obviously the new album, you will see me talking about that in December. Hint, hint. But yeah. Great record, definitely still my favorite album that came out in 2020. For very good reason. I listened to the ever-living crap out of this record when it came out, and I still played a good amount. But there you go, Necrophobic, Dawn of the Damned. This might be my favorite record by this band, either this or the debut. This is Unang with Aldrig I Leave It. So honestly, my favorite song by them so far is track 3, Indultate Leg. I mean, that main riff is so catchy. Great shit, but yep. Definitely, I would say by far the most popular of all the Killtown death metal bands from Denmark, and for good reason. They're easily my favorite. I know they did an EP a couple years ago. I think they are definitely due for a new album, because like I said, their last full length is this one. Put out through, again, Masaku and Ujo. I think Dark Descent did a version too. Even though I bought this from Dark Descent, not sure why it says Masaku and Ujo, but oh well. So yep, good shit. If you know your modern death metal, modern, even though they were formed like 15 years ago, they're definitely one of the bigger bands from the Denmark scene. Or just bigger bands, period. But there you go. Undergang, Aldrig I Live It. Alright, so let's move into some 2021 material. Alright, so let's do the one CD I have pulled first. Mortiferum, Perverse and Torment. So their first record I liked. This one I fucking love. Definitely the best of the 2 by far. I mean, their first record's cool, but this definitely takes everything they did on the debut and like makes the songwriting better, more memorable, better production. better songwriting, it's catchier, just everything about this record completely blows the debut out of the water. But yep, again, their last record, so hopefully we get a new one next year, or maybe, I doubt late this year, but probably next year we'll do for a new one. So yep, great stuff. Mortiferum, Professor Torment. I know people call these guys a Death Doom band. I'm not really sure why, to be honest, but I mean, they have slower moments, but it's not like it's like a dismal record or anything. It's definitely like just straightforward death metal. Happen to have some slower parts, so I guess apparently to some folks that counts as Death Doom, but oh well. But there you go. Mortiferum, Professor Torment. Cadaveric Fumes. So this is Echoin Chambers of Soul. So of course these guys, I think they like broke up before this album even came out, so not sure what that was about, but oh well. So if you like stuff like Cosmic Putrefaction or Sulfur Aeon, this is definitely a good release in that style, but unfortunately, like I said, these guys are broken up, so I'm not going to get anything else, but oh well. Good record regardless, they released the one album, they put out something great, so yep, good shit. This put out through Blood Harvest, In the Mortal Fear was put out through Profound Lore. I forgot if I mentioned that. Alright, here's another pretty underrated band in my opinion that gets no love. This is Cadaveric Incubator with Nightmare Necropolis. So you could argue this is more like death grind, but I want to include it anyway because I will mention this band anytime I get the chance because, like I said, they are pretty underrated. So this is almost like if Severed Survival era Autopsy played Finnish death grind, so it's definitely has the grossness of Autopsy, but the like speed and ferocity like mid 2020s death grind. But yeah, good shit regardless though. This is their second full length, I believe. I know they had one after this. I don't remember if that was an EP or full length. I want to say it was a full length, but yeah, good stuff though. Check it out. Cadaveric Incubator, Nightmare Necropolis. This put out through Hell's Headbangers too. Forgot if I mentioned that. Here's one of the more popular ones to come out in the last few years. Another band that's broken up. I don't know what the deal is. People keep breaking up for some dumb reason, but SBL Rod, Excretion and Mortality. Odious Descent into Decay, the debut I prefer, but that came out in 2019, so obviously cannot mention that. I feel like my one slight issue with this record is they got the production a little bit cleaner, which I like the more kind of like grosser, muddier production of the debut. And they just kind of, I don't know, I feel like also they kind of dropped a little bit of the Autopsy influence that was on this record. This almost sounds like they went for almost like a Unang meets Finnish sound, where the debut was basically like Autopsy worship, but yeah. A good record, but like I said, I still prefer the debut though, but there you go. SBL Rod, Excretion of Mortality. These guys are from Italy, I believe, but they do not sound Italian. This is Hellslave with From the Software Steps, so put out through Desert Wasteland Productions. Let me pull this out so you can see it better. There's a tape. So this basically is like early Swedish death metal style stuff, so their first record I've actually never heard. Apparently that's more like a melodic death metal album, but this one they don't have any of that sound at all. They said screw all the melody, went full on early Swedish, so it'd be like the obviously like early Dismember, Grave, Entomb, that type of stuff. Definitely one of the better modern albums to do that style. So yep, check it out. Hellslave, From the Software Depths. Alright, so next 3 on LP, so I'm gonna butcher this band name, but this is Jesus. Igumitum with Desecrate. So kind of like proggy Black Death, I guess. So if Void Ceremony was more blackened, it was kind of, this is what it would sound like. So almost, or like some like early Atheist too, like the first record. Kind of weird choice, but yeah. But so again, if you like stuff like Void Ceremony, early Atheist, this is definitely a awesome record to check out in that vein. But there you go, put out through 20 bucks spin, which I'm kind of surprised to put out through that label, to be honest, but oh well. There you go. Argumentum with Desecrate. I'm sure I butchered that band name, but oh well. Let's go to, I think what country these guys are from. I want to say Spain or Denmark, but neither of those seem right. This is Beast with Necro Sapiens, so to me this is almost like if Morbid Angel wrote a Bloodbath record, I guess. This is what it sounds like, but they definitely went for a different approach to the... It sounds like an HM2, but I don't think it is, because it's not as harsh as that. It's definitely like a similar pedal type thing, but they definitely went for that style though. But like I said, more like not just full on sweetness, there's definitely some like fluidity and style too, but yep. Great record, put out through Century Media. I don't think they've done an album since. I know they did an EP, I think, in 2022 or 23, but no full length since then, but yep. Great band, pretty underrated in my opinion, but great stuff regardless though. So there you go. Beast, Necro Sapien. Great record. Put out through Century Media, if I did not mention that. Alright, so let's show one that's kind of a little bit like lower IQ, I guess you could call it. Dipicus Bushmeat. So if you were looking for something smart, this is not it. This is like just super basic and dumb, but I think it's pretty fun. But yeah, put through Expansion Abyss, just awesome. And they have a new album from this year too, which I have on. I ordered the tape because it was kind of a pain in the ass because no one in the US have copies for some dumb reason, despite them being from the US, which is kind of annoying, but oh well. I mean, even the logo to an album cover, you kind of know what you're getting. And then even some of the song titles like Ape Sounds, Bush Meat, Long Pig Feast, My Ass is in Human Mouth, Ape Sounds 2. I mean, you basically know what you're getting, but it's done good. Like, it's not just super stupid, like the same pace every song, because that'd be kind of boring, but they definitely switch it up. It's not just like the same 2 drum beats for the whole thing. But yeah, good stuff though. Alright, so that's it for the 2021. Let's go do some 2022 stuff. I believe this is the most per year. I'm choosing, I don't remember, but oh well. So let's go to Finland for this one, I believe. Cryptic Hatred with Nocturnal Sickness. So this is almost like, I feel like if Cannibal Corpse made an album in between The Bleeding and Vile, it would be this. Like vocally, it's like a mixture of both Corpse Grinder and Bones. It's like they don't emulate either or, it's kind of both. So this band's labeled black metal on Metal Archives. I have no idea why. I completely disagree, but that's just me, so I'm including it anyway. This is Barrage Hores with Ruins. So this is a side project of one of the guys from Dead Congregation. So it definitely, you can tell it's like one of those members, so it definitely has that style. So not sure why we don't have any new Dead Congregation, but we have one of his side project albums, so. Oh well, that's just a small little nitpick, I guess, but anyway. Put out through Transcendent Obscurity albums, Obvious Records, obviously, because they're the ones who always do this shit. And this took forever to show up too, so that was sweet, but oh well. Good record regardless though, so if you, like me, you want a like slightly more black metal version of DC, this is an awesome record though. Yep. Barrage Hores, Ruins. Here's another one of the like more legacy bands, I guess, but oh well. This is Bloodbath with Survival of the Sickest, so by far my favorite album that they've done with Nick Holmes on vocals. The first two, well, yeah, the first two were good. This one's great. It was kind of funny they didn't bother crediting Exum Rod. I'm not sure why. So you have the guy from Lick, Jonas, Anders, Nick, and there's no mention of Axe. And he's been with the band since 2004, so not sure what the deal is, but oh well. So obviously new guitarist, he's from Lick. You got to do some Catatonia, Nick from Paradise Lost, and Axe from Ex Opeth, but yeah. Good record, obviously, like I said, my favorite by far with Nick on vocals, and this made, I think this was like a top 10 for me in 2022, I don't remember exactly, but yeah. Good stuff though. I know some people are kind of sick of Bloodbath, they call them like a revival band, though it's kind of hard to be like a revival band when your first lineup features Dan Swano and like other guys from the early scene, so it's not really a revival if you have guys from the OG scene, but oh well, but yep. Put out through Napalm Records, so there's that. Great stuff though, so there you go. Bloodbath. Sickest to the sick. Or Survival of the Sickest, my bad. There you go. Alright, here's a band that nobody ever mentions, and that's a damn shame. Church of Disgust. Weakest is the Flesh. So put out through Hell's Headbangers, so this is definitely a different style. I mean, you would think it'd be like this typical cavernous sound. It's not. It's almost like an entire album of like slower Morbid Angel, I guess. Like there's a lot of moments where they have like this super like heavy, this like simplistic like ringing out this super heavy chord, like tremolo riffs in the background. That is total Morbid Angel, man. So yeah, I'm not sure why these guys don't get the love as much love as some of the other bands in the scene, but oh well. But I still think they deserve more attention. Put out through Hell's Headbangers, so if you like, yeah, like I said, if you like want to like almost an entire album of kind of like slower, mid-paced, down-tuney Morbid Angel opposed to like this typical like cavernous sound that we hear today, definitely one of the better underrated records in the scene in my opinion. But there you go. Church of Disgust, Weakest is the Flesh. Great album. The Hemorrhage record ended, so I just put on Groom. Let's keep the Hemorrhage train rolling, I guess. So continuing on with the 2022 stack, I think, yeah. Cosmic Putrefaction with... oh, Jesus. Of course, these are the worst font ever. Quispecular Dirge for the Blessed Ones. I swear, all the titles are pretty ridiculous, but my favorite by them is the album before this. Here, let me show it. Hang on. I know where it is. This is The Horizon's Torch with Splendor's Withers. Like I said, they're the kings of having long-ass album titles, but yeah. So, one-man project from Italy. So, if you are a fan of the Cadaveric Fumes album I mentioned earlier, definitely in that style. Honestly, this is what I wish Blood Incantation sounded like, but they don't have, like, they're nowhere near as ambient or proggy, but I only say that because they're both, like, space themed, so, but they definitely have a different sound in them, but just a comparison, I guess, because of the lyrics, but yeah. Great album. This is, I think, a one-man project, too, so I believe it's one guy doing everything except drums and the solos, maybe, I believe. He had someone else doing that, but everything else is just one guy, man, so pretty impressive to have one dude do this entire thing, but yep. Put out through Profound Lore. I have the new album on order, so looking forward to getting that, and the new album Rules, too, but like I said, the one before this is still my favorite, though, but yeah. Check it out. Cosmic Putrefaction. Here's another one of the bigger bands, I guess, but this album I listened to a lot when it came out. So this is Exum with To the Dead. He only pulled this out. Nah, never mind, I won't bother. But yeah, Exum To the Dead. Great record. So style-wise, I would say this is almost like Slaughter Cult, but with the modern production style. So if you like that album, but the songs are a lot longer, so it's like Slaughter Cult, Jesus Christ. Slaughter Cult with mixed with Anatomy is Destiny, so kind of in that style for Exum. It's definitely in that vein, but yeah, great stuff. Definitely one of my favorites. Probably, honestly, my favorite of their last 3 records that they've done is probably this. So I would say, as far as favorite, probably the best they've done since Necrophobic. But yeah, great stuff. Exum To the Dead. I love that cover art too. I want a t-shirt of that. That's definitely one of their best artworks too. But yeah, there you go. You all should know Exhumed. Here's another one of my favorites from the modern US scene. This is Ripped to Shreds. with Jalubia. Yeah, Jaluvia. So this came, like I said, 2022. This was a top 5 album for me in 2022, I believe. So yeah, this is top 5, I think. Great record. So the new album is awesome too, which, spoiler, that made my list, so you shall be seeing that next month. But yeah, still my favorite though. So this is almost like Swedish style death metal, but with like violent remain style guitar solos. I mean, Dave Suzuki even played a guest solo on one of these songs, so that was definitely not a mistake, which you can see. Yep, Dave Suzuki's guitar recorded by James. So yep, the opening track you can see Dave Suzuki guitar solo guest track 1. So yep, great stuff. This is their 3rd full length, I believe. Yeah, because they have 2 before this one, but they have the 4 so far. This is easily my favorite, but all 4 are great. But there you go. Ripped to shreds. Awesome band. Here's another one of my favorite bands from the US, and I have the new album in order, but there was a problem with like the pressing plan, so it's a few weeks late, which probably explains why I haven't seen anybody show it on Instagram or YouTube at all. So it definitely is. I know I'm not the only one who got screwed over by the like shipping problems or whatever. I mean the pressing, not the shipping. It's not their fault. You know what I mean. Anyway, Senti Horror. This is Rights of Gore. Rights of Gore? Yeah, Rights of Gore. So, I know they're considered like a Swedish death metal band style-wise, but this is probably going to sound dumb, but honestly, I think they almost sound like the most Swedish style Fleshclaw records, which I know it's kind of dumb because you could argue the Fleshclaw's copying Sweden, so it's like Swedish style twice removed, but I say that mainly because the vocals, they definitely remind me the most of like the modern Fleshclaw vocals, but it's less melodic than that middle era, so it's not like made of flesh. It's definitely, I would say, like as blood rains from the sky, we walk the path of endless fire. Is that the one? Yeah, I think that's the one. So definitely not era Fleshclaw, but yeah, good record. And I believe they're from a place called Stockholm, New Jersey, which I thought was pretty funny considering the style they play. But yeah, put that through one of my favorite labels. I don't think gets enough love. The awesome Redefining Darkness, which I will eventually do a label spotlight for them. But yeah, killer record. Looking forward to getting my copy of the new one. I've been so tempted to cheat and listen to the new one, but I'm waiting until my copy shows up. I haven't even heard a single song from it. Because these guys are one of the few bands, I could literally pre-order the album without even hearing it, and I know it's going to be cool. So they've definitely, so far, one of the few bands in the modern death metal scene. I don't need to hear a single song. The second it goes up, I will order it, and I know I will be very happy with the result. But yep, great stuff. Senti Horror, Rights of Gore. Looking forward to getting my copy of the new one. Here's another band whose new album I have on order. I'm just waiting for that to show up. Undeath, It's Time to Rise from the Grave. So I love Undeath. My one problem with them is they have kind of not very good album names. I mean, that sounds super generic, honestly. It's time to rise from the grave. Okay, but oh well. So this of the 3 they've done so far, this is still my favorite. The new one's good. I like the new one better than the debut, but not as good as this. I mean, the album cover is kind of weird too. I mean, what is that? But oh, that's me nitpicking. So this, they definitely went even further into the Cannibal Corpse worship that they were already playing with on their debut, but the songwritings were fine in this one. It's catchier, better production, better songwriting, but yep, good stuff. Again, if you want like, so the era of Cannibal Corpse, I would say it's like Bloodthirst, Gallery of Suicides, like late 90s style, but like less technical, but the guitar tones definitely reminds me a lot of Cannibal, especially the vocals too. But yep, good stuff. Put that through Prosthetic Records. But there you go, Undeath, It's Time to Rise from the Grave. Alright, first up is a band from the UK who returned after a pretty big break, and they did not disappoint, and it was worth the comeback. This is Crushmanum with Obsidian Refraction. So Channel Passages is definitely one of the best death metal albums of the like 2010s, but I prefer this one honestly, but that's a pretty big benchmark because both were awesome. But yeah, so if you like I called one of the early albums, just super dark death metal, so like your Immolations, I'm just stuffing out. Golgothan Remains, stuff like that. It's definitely in that style, but with a UK sensibility to it. I think they're actually from the US now, so I think like the main guy moved to the US and they're like all Americans now except him, but that's cool. Yep. Through Profound Lore. So again, if it's like just super dark, leafy death metal, definitely one of the better albums from last year. There you go. Check it out. Crushmanum, Obsidian Refractions. Here's a band that gets no love, unfortunately, but oh well, you can't hear everything, so I kind of get it. This is RoR. Yeah, RoR. A-N-G-E-R-E-T with the Profound Reaction. Again, put out through the awesome Redefining Darkness. Hails to them. So to me, this is almost like if mid-2000s Bloodbath did not use the HM2 pedal, so the like more typical death metal guitar tone, but played by Bloodbath. So I think these guys are from like South Dakota or someplace weird, so not sure how that happened, but yep. This is their third full length, their most recent. I need to get the other two, but they're cheap on Redefined Darkness, so I'll do that eventually. But yep, awesome record. Like I said, underrated band. I think deserves more love, but also I think the entire Redefined Darkness roster deserves more love as a whole, but there you go. RoR, the Profound Recreation. Alright, so let's go to Italy for this one. This is Devangelic with Exum. So I've mentioned before, when it comes to like technical brutal death metal, my favorite scene for that style is definitely Italy. Like these guys, Blood Truth, Hour of Penance, Hideous Divinity. Those four are the ones that come to mind, but there's a bunch more. That's definitely my favorite sound for this style. I'm not really sure why. Just like when you hear a band from Italy, I instantly like gravitate towards it, other than the other scene for whatever reason. But yeah, through Willowtip. So if you can tell, this is basically like mid-2000s Nile worship. I mean, the opening song, Scribes of Exul, like the first riff after the slight intro, that lately just sounds like Cast Out the Heretic. But I mean, even the song 2 was called Which Shall Be the Darkness of the Heretic, so pretty obvious. But they definitely, I would say they were like more brutal than Nile, but less technical, so it's like a good mixture. But yep, awesome stuff. I believe this is their 4th or 5th full length. I have the previous one, but I still need the first 2. But yep, great band, awesome, technical, fast, heavy shit. So there you go. Devangelic, Exul. I know the grade is horrible, I'm sorry, but oh well. Here's another just down in the trenches, like smashing rocks with your face, caveman record, like the Dipicus. This is Torture Rack with Primeval Onslaught. So definitely my favorite of the, I think, 2 or 3 albums this band did. And this on a $20 spin, which seems appropriate, but yeah. Again, just super knuckle dragging, caveman bashing you in the face with a rock, death metal. But good stuff though. There you go. Torture Rack, Primeval Onslaught. Are you changing directions completely? This is Void Ceremony with Threads of Unknowing. Again, put out through $20 spin, who did the Torture Rack. And this next one is also $20 spin, but yep. Like proggy death metal, kind of, but awesome bass playing, great drumming. A little bit blackened too, so if you like mid-era death, I guess, so like human individual thought patterns, symbolic, mixed with like first 2 Atheist records, so Piece of Time and Unquestionable Presence, but it's less jazzy than that, so mainly just the first one, but yep. Good stuff, awesome band. Probably my favorite album by them so far, but yep. Great stuff regardless. There you go. Void Ceremony, Threads of Unknowing. Alright, speaking of proggy, let's go to this one. This is Tomb Mold with, what's this one called? The Enduring Spirits. So this record, I know people give them a lot of flack because they kind of changed direction. I thought this album was brilliant, but that's just me. But I can get why people only like their first couple records, but this one, they were out the door. But I kind of like that they went like in a different direction, because if they just did this, if they did, blah, blah, blah. if they just did Primordial Malignancy, the entire career would have been kind of boring, but it's kind of cool that they're like getting a like more unique direction opposed to like some of their peers that are just staying super simple and not changing style. But anyway, that's just me. But there you go. 2 more, the Enduring Spirit. Alrighty, so these are the 2 from this year I want to mention because they're both my favorite records by this band so far, so I couldn't not mention them, but spoiler alert, they were both on my year-end list, so you'll be seeing them again, but oh well, you can deal with that. So this is Laceration with I Erode. These guys are from the US, I believe. Yeah, I think they're from the US, so kind of thrashy death metal, so this, I mean, that's honestly not a bad comparison, like Deicide and Decapitated, so to me this is almost like if the first couple Decapitated records were less technical and more thrashy, so that's what you get here, but it's not like technical death metal, but definitely there's a lot of riffs that remind me of the first 3 Decapitated records on here, but yep. Great album, so I'm not going to spoil this too much because I'm going to mention it later, but oh well. I'll say it is awesome, you shall see it next month when I do my year-end list video, but oh well. Laceration, I Erode, put out the $20 spin. Kind of surprisingly, but oh well. And then this one, you got Necro, Lifeless Birth. Yeah, Lifeless Birth. Definitely my favorite of the 3 albums so far. I think it's gotten better and better with each record. I mean, listen to the song Drill the Skull. The second you hear that, you have that chorus stuck in your head. Drill the Skull. Great shit. Put that through 10 Crimes. So again, you will see this one in my year-end list, so I don't want to mention too much, but there you go. Necro, Lifeless Birth, definitely their best of their 3 albums, so if they can top this, I will be surprised, but I think they can do it. Good challenge for the next album, but there you go. Alright, thanks for watching. I could eventually do one of these for black metal line, maybe I will when I'm back in that mood, but I've honestly not really been listening to that style of music, so I think it's kind of odd to talk about style when you're not really in the mood for it, but oh well. Not sure what I'll do next, but I seem to say it every time, but I'll pull some shit out and we'll do this again. Thanks for watching, take care.